Welcome to the Spare Parts Racing Podcast, your podcast for all things motorsports. With your hosts, Sean Chavarella, Stephen Clary, and Taylor Moore.
Hear that music?
Hello, and welcome to another week's episode of Spare Parts Racing. I'm your host, Sean.
I'm Stephen.
And I'm Taylor.
And this week, we have quite a bit to talk about. We have the Nascar weekend at the Roval. We have COTA coming up. We have Petit Le Mans to maybe talk about if you want.
We can talk about that.
We can talk about that.
And some other little things that happen in the news. But I think the big thing to get to and the most controversial part of the weekend was definitely NASCAR's Roval race.
Oh.
Yeah. Taylor, you have no idea what happened, do you?
Okay, so I know a little bit. I know that Logano is still in and somebody else was knocked out for some reason. I think it was a disqualification.
Great job. You actually did pay attention this week. Way to go.
Yes, I did.
So, yes, NASCAR happened on the Roval. What happened was Larson ended up winning the race, Bell second, yada, yada, yada. Bowman, at the time, what did he finish? Was it like third or fourth or something like that? He was in a good enough spot where he won enough points. Logano had a bad day. Logano was out.
Mhm.
Bowman was in. The exact where they were, I can't remember at this time, but it's irrelevant because Bowman got disqualified because in post-race inspection, his car was found to be under the weight limit.
Ooh.
Now,
That is a brutal disqualification, honestly.
well, weight is kind of important, right? We saw it in Russell, who lost a F1 race due to being underweight. And, like, it's not like it's one of those things with, like, cars where, like, for NASCAR, you have your pre-race inspection, and just because you were correct weight during pre-race inspection, and, you know, so the question is, where did that weight go? In the past, there has been cheeky little things with teams that have, like, used water or done stuff like that where, you know, they can lose weight in the car essentially as a race goes on. And then you have to quickly fill it up at the end so no one notices. That's been a thing to happen. I don't think is that case with Bowman. It appears that he lost his weight hitting the curbs too hard and losing some chunks of his car.
Allegedly.
Oh.
Well,
Allegedly.
did you not see the video of him?
I did, because it was Logano's onboard you're talking about, right? Where you see him really smack the last chicane, the turtles.
Yes, because they replaced the curbs also between the Xfinity race and the Cup race, and yeah. Interesting choice.
But yeah, it was the pieces flying off there, which you wouldn't think would necessarily make that big a difference, considering it wasn't like he lost like all his quarter panels or something.
Yeah.
It might have been a piece of ballast or something like that. But either way,
it would have to be a piece of ballast to be that substantial of weight loss.
Yeah. Yeah, and Hendrick has already come out and said they are not appealing the decision, so they clearly don't have the evidence to overturn and say, well, you know, it's due to damage or whatever they could possibly say to possibly rectify that. But yeah, Alex Bowman, who has been one of the better drivers in these playoffs and was, you know, maybe not guaranteed for the Final Four, but the way he was driving, definitely could have been there.
Yep.
Out.
So yeah, and Logano, who was on the outside looking in at the end of the Roval race, is now back in the playoffs.
It is an even number year.
I swear to God,
Racing gods.
You're the ninth person today I have seen make that joke or comment. I'm going to strangle you through the screen.
Lovely.
But yes,
Well, you never know.
It is an even year. So apparently it's a Logano year.
Yep.
If he does
Well, we'll
win,
see.
I think a lot of people will kind of lose their mind on that.
I think so. And then it'll be worth being the 9th person to bring that up.
But this is the thing with the playoffs. People feel like the winner doesn't earn it. Unlike other sports where you have to beat the best guys, like Bowman's been very good all year.
Mm-hmm.
And he has consistently been, I would say, a good runner. And I think he deserved to be moving on. We did talk about this last week. How we're like, Bowman could be a sneaky guy to get in there.
Yep.
Whoops.
Yep. Well, at the same time, so I'm just like, I was looking at Racing Reference, and the 8 guys we have left are still the eight best drivers.
True.
Statistically, you don't have some like random like Ty Gibbs, Martin Truex, Daniel Suarez, some random guy just winning his way in. So, like statistically this year, these are the best 8 drivers.
If statistically you get the best 4 in the final 4, that's also fantastic.
Yeah.
And I really hope that is. Who's top 4 right now?
Top 4 would be Larson, Bell, Reddick, Byron.
That'd be a fantastic final 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
2 Toyotas versus 2 Chevys.
Sorry, Fords. It's actually, this is all a ploy of the Fords to get one of them into the finals. That's why they have to keep Logano alive.
Yeah.
But I did see someone mention that if it wasn't for the Richmond bullshit,
Between Logano and Dillon. Yep.
Yeah, Logano would have had the points anyway to move on.
Yeah, I mean, if he does better at Talladega, you could say the same things. It's a whole bunch of what if.
But it's one of those. Yes, but Talladega is a type of race. It's not being wrecked by someone who.
Yes.
NASCAR admitted it was wrong and basically docked the win from. Well, sorry, docked playoff eligibility from, still gave the win. Like, if NASCAR even just said, okay, we're just going to do a count back. Logano still has the points. Like, it's that kind of thing, right? So.
Yep.
Versus, I guess you could call that race manipulation in a way, wrecking a guy for a win. But without that, everything else is fine. But just saying.
Yeah.
If Logano has that back, he makes it through. It's fine. Again, Bowman just looks out, just misses out. So yeah, these things happen. It's unfortunate, the playoffs, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, we got Las Vegas, Homestead, Martinsville as the next round. Any predictions on who our final 4 is? Is it just what I read off earlier, where it's Larson, Bell, Reddick, Byron? Is there... So actually, now that I'm saying it out loud, we should actually look at the cut line if we're done talking about Roval overall.
There is something else to add to Roval, but it's not a NASCAR Cup one. It is an Xfinity thing we have to get to. So we'll get to that after. But yes, we can continue, I think.
Okay, so your current playoffs... Ryan Blaney is your first driver on the outside, 4 points out. Denny Hamlin, 8 points out. Chase Elliott, 9 points out. And Joey Logano, 11 points out. Who's sneaking in? Who's getting booted from that top 4 of Larson, Bell, Reddick, and Byron? Larson is currently plus 33. Everybody else is within 15 points of that cut line, with Bell at 13.
Larson makes it.
Yeah, he's pretty safe with that 33-point cushion, and these are 3 tracks that he excels at. So
yeah, I expect him to win Vegas by like 5 seconds if it doesn't go to overtime.
So you're expecting the same result as this weekend with the Roval. We didn't even mention that Kyle Larson just sort of ran away with it in stage 3. It's all about the other part of the Hendrick garage.
That is true, yeah. But like, it's kind of a shame how I feel like the actual races, like the road course races / Roval and short tracks, are the ones that have struggled the most under these, I guess, new regulations, and like they're just not as entertaining as they used to be a few years ago. It is the intermediates. It is the Las Vegas. That's going to be a fun race. It is the Homestead. I expect that to be a good race. Martinsville, Phoenix should be a good race. Yeah. Okay. So I expect Larson to get through. Who else? What's a good Homestead? What's a good Homestead comparison? It is kind of
Don't know.
weird. It's a weird thing. Maybe Hamlin can do well at that track. I actually do not know. Maybe. And then Martinsville. Byron.
Martinsville.
Byron.
I was gonna say
one of the maybe Elliott. One of the. What's it called? Hendricks is the last one. That's what I'm thinking.
Yep. I was gonna say Martinsville. I know Denny is usually good at. I would say if anyone's sneaking up from that bottom 4, it's probably him.
Yeah.
I think he'll find a way to get in there. Part of that is still with the fantasy that he wins his first ever championship and NASCAR has to hand him a trophy while also fighting him in court.
I
That's
want
just
that
the fun.
so badly.
Exactly. That's just the fun storyline that I'm hoping for. But so I'm pulling up Trey Ryan, who is an excellent follow. I think we've brought him up before on Twitter. The average finishes in the playoffs through 6 races so far. Denny Hamlin has an average, the 5th best average finishes with 13.83. So it's not like that'd be a good pick. Any guesses on who the number 1 guy is? He is the top 5 are playoff drivers. So Kyle Larson, you had 4th. Denny Hamlin is 5th. Any guesses at who your top guy is?
Ooh. No, I'm not gonna embarrass myself with a guess.
So this guy's averaging 5 spots better than the next closest guy. The next closest guy is William Byron at 11th, essentially. Christopher Bell is averaging a 6th place finish in the playoffs.
Wow.
So I'd say that with a 13-point cushion should mean he's probably in.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're sort of like looking at Byron and Reddick, and it's like,
Okay, but this is the one thing I noticed in the playoffs. What is it about?
wins.
Nope, getting hot at the right time.
That's yes.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So yes, it's a nice stat of Bell being, oh yeah, he's averaging 6 in the last 6 races. Good stat. Byron's averaging what, 2.6 in the last 3 races?
Yep.
So is the momentum dead for Bell, or is it just beginning for Byron, who had a good week last week? Like, I'm looking at Hamlin in 14th, like, ooh, did his momentum stall out? Again, it's all about getting hot at the right time. Larson's the only guy who actually has like multiple wins in the playoffs. No one else has a win. Except Logano.
Yep. So I guess in rebuttal to that, you go through a couple other stats. Your laps led, Christopher Bell is 3rd, Denny Hamlin 2nd. Neither is holding a candle to Kyle Larson right now. Your wins this season, both Toyota guys have 3 wins each. Tyler Reddick has 2, but he's been struggling this playoff. So
Final Four is going to be Toyota versus Chevy. I think we can.
Yeah.
I think we can almost lock that in. Sorry, Logano.
Sorry,
But-
Blaney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Blaney's still in there, right? Ooh, awkward. I forgot about him completely.
Well, you completely forgot about him, so I'm going to say he's out, Logano's out. So we've locked in 2 drivers. We've locked out 2 drivers. So Hamlin, Elliott, Reddick, Byron.
Elliott
pick 2.
out.
Yeah.
I was going to say the same thing. He's a guy.
Reddick obviously out. Yeah. Elliott out, Reddick obviously out.
Chase
Oh,
Elliott,
Byron in,
1 win,
Hamlin in.
214 laps led. Reddick, 2 wins, 491 laps led. So I think those are pretty safe options.
Reddick is out, and he's gonna be in position to advance, and then all of a sudden, he's going to get a speeding penalty on pit road,
Oh my gosh.
and he's out.
Because we can't just ding Denny. That's too obvious.
Did
No,
you
of course
see
not.
the Bubba Wallace call? And then who was it? The non-call? I think it was on Byron.
No, I missed this.
Oh, so like during the Roval race, part of the rules was okay if you could cut, it counts as a cut chicane if they can see like blue on the one side of the car.
Yep.
Well, Bubba got dinged for that. Byron, I think it was Byron, went over it. We're just going to look the other way in that one. But, you know, the team that's suing NASCAR got dinged, so.
Oh, of course.
And a lot of people called them out on it, like, hey, like, just saying. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with those two, with Hamlin. I think Hamlin makes it to the Final Four, and same thing happens to him. He gets dinged in like a speeding penalty or something just because. Or guy over the wall too soon, or some bullshit like that.
All right, so are we all saying Larson, Bell, Hamlin, Byron for the Final Four?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I would lock that in. That's my answer. Yeah, I like that. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, it's tough to sort of point to. Well, I mean, a win changes everything, but it's hard to point to necessarily something else changing. These guys have all been good throughout the playoffs, right? There hasn't been like a noticeable weakness somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, to get to the final eight, you have to be somewhat consistent to get to this point. But, you know, maybe there's like Sean's been alluding to, maybe there's a surprising, unsurprising penalty that just disqualifies someone and knocks them out.
Hilariously enough, based on old Winston Cup standings, who would be first right now?
Would it still be Reddick? I can't remember.
Yeah, it'd be Reddick, Elliott, Bell. I like how we have the two of those guys out. Whoops.
Oh, well.
That is the joys of playoffs.
God, NASCAR standings are hilarious. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, other controversy coming out of the Roval. The end of the Xfinity race. Did you guys see this one?
No.
Okay, so what happened was Parker Kligerman's coming to the line. Like, coming to the line. Like, literally feet to go. Someone buries it in the wall. And they don't really throw the yellow until right as he gets to the line. I can't remember who it was buried in the wall. But yeah,
So they waited to throw the yellow until he was like just about to cross the line?
He never saw a yellow flag. He saw the white flag. And between the lights and him being at the line is like when they threw it. So he thought, okay, I hit the white flag, all yellow's out, perfect, I win. No, and that would have been his first win. But no, he actually didn't. And he had to restart, and he got railroaded like down to 6th.
That's terrible.
Honestly, one of the worst calls I've seen. And like, they could have also just said, "Oh yeah, he got the white," because like the guy waved the white and then had to go and grab the yellow after he'd already crossed to throw the yellow. So they could have said, "Well, the driver saw the white flag, like he basically got there as the white was there."
Yeah.
You should call that. And like, how many times have we seen wrecking in NASCAR, like coming to the line, guys wrecking, and then they wait for them to cross and then they throw the yellow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it makes sense to do it. Well, I mean, they did wait a long time because the guy that buried himself, it was out of turn 2 in that long sort of very lazy left, right?
I think so, yeah.
So,
or like 3. I think that's turn 3 because you got 1, 2 over the hill, 3 going back to the right. Anyway.
Yeah.
It was one of those turns in the first sector. He buried himself and like was buried.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ugh. I'm just trying to find the exact timing that they had. But yeah, really rough for a guy because he's never won an Xfinity race, right?
Nope.
So it's rough to get the win taken away in that style,
That's brutal. That's just brutal.
especially for a guy because I think he's done full-time racing this year too. He's already sort of started moving over to the broadcast side. So like this would have been a nice little, you know what? It's been a pretty good full-time career. Finally get a win, close it out in the last couple races.
And
Oh my.
what was it? It was today, I think, on or today or yesterday on Sirius XM. They did have NASCAR's senior vice president of competition on.
Mm-hmm.
That's Elton Sawyer, and he said, "Yeah, they made a mistake waiting too long to throw that yellow."
My gosh, that's brutal.
And here's the issue: like, if they had just thrown it the second the car was in the barriers and buried, it's not an issue. Because that's unfortunate. It was like a while till I got to the line. Yeah, but you waited and waited and waited, and then they throw it after you get the white. Like, you couldn't have had worse timing on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say at that point, just let the guy get the win.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
instead,
because like that car was not reversing out. It's in a dangerous spot in terms of if you let them go green flag racing, there's a chance that someone plows into the back of it still. It's not like it's peeled off to the side somewhere.
true,
So,
but it's not on the racing surface technically. Like, it is off, it is in the barriers, but yes,
it's in a heavy braking zone.
it could be a local yellow.
Sure. Either way, it's another week where we're talking about officiating.
Yeah,
Whether it's the Austin Dillon thing early in the season, the DVP rules over the last couple weeks, that sort of shit.
so
Either way, not good.
yeah, and
Bad week to be a 48 at the Roval.
that's true. And as a result, though, Sam Mayer won to advance. Like, he needed that win. So, yeah, was not good. Anyway, yeah. Is there anything else NASCAR to talk about?
Yes, because there was the other little bit of off-track shenanigans with the latest version of Spygate, I guess.
Okay,
Did you not see this?
take it away, Steven.
I'm pretty sure I sent this morning. Anywho,
You think I read into it?
I don't know. Maybe you had a boring day at work apparently. So
I started off. It did not. It was not boring.
okay. Anywho, we have something similar to the whole Ray Hall and Andretti thing that happened with I guess is it corporate espionage? I don't know. Anywho, apparently a Joe Gibbs Racing team member had given setup knowledge to another unnamed team at some point this season, and that unnamed team paid cash for those setups.
Right. Okay. I did see what you said this morning, and now, like, as soon as you said it was like the intellectual property thing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So we don't know exactly what happened outside of that, and it's all alleged at this point.
I want to jump in and make the joke that was Denny Hamlin selling it out to, like, pay for his legal fees, but but I also,
it's a little late in the season for that.
I know, but I know it wouldn't be. You wouldn't be giving the setup knowledge to 2311 because they already have a partnership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's not an issue, and they did confirm it was like not a driver. It was a team member.
Yeah.
It was an engineer, one of the engineers, right?
Yeah.
So
So
wasn't the other layer to this that this engineer has been looking for employment at other teams, and he's had like
Yes.
interviews with, or the engineer has had interviews with other teams, and teams have confirmed that they like have interviewed this individual. So like not only did this person like sell out setups, but also like in the meantime was also shopping around for a different job. So it's like jumping ship at Joe Gibbs.
It's like they kind of knew they were on their way out, so they're just trying to make some
Yeah.
fast cash and hopefully go somewhere else. Like,
Yep.
yeah.
Nothing helps impress your boss in an interview like saying, "Hey, here's my setups. Try it on your cars. Oh, your cars did well? Look at me. You should hire me."
Yeah, but that's not what happened. He's not selling it to the boss. He's selling it to a random guy for cash.
Yes. So,
Who do you think bought him?
so there is unsurprisingly conspiracy theories about this already.
Of course.
One of the top ones is who randomly started doing well like midway through the season. Like, let's say just after Olympic break. Maybe that team even won a race. The other driver started doing really well. Any thoughts? Questions?
Like,
No thoughts. no
Childress?
questions.
RCR was one of the
Ooh.
alleged names that people have been sort of throwing around. Just like, Kyle Busch started doing really well, and
Oh, right.
they
The
they also got a race win in there after being really, really bad to start off the season. Could they have just figured something out? They might have, but
Maybe.
in light of this, and I think I was listening to something else. Ty Gibbs had made some comments about Austin Dillon's win, and it's like, where did they get all that speed from? Which at the time was like, maybe you just figured it out for a week. It happens, but now it's like, added layer, the fact that it's got this extra context around it now.
I feel like it's not that like far out of a conspiracy to think that it could be RCR.
Yeah, that is a very
Like it actually is very like plausible.
Someone who's buddies with Kyle Busch just says, "Hey Kyle, you guys seem to be struggling."
you know what? That is actually really because like I'm trying to think of other teams. And I'm like, okay, cheating. My mind immediately goes to Penske.
Already
Of
bent the
course.
rules.
Well, they have the IndyCar thing, and you know what? Yeah. Then I'm like, okay. Then the other team for cheating would be Hendrick, obviously, again. And I'm like, okay, but these guys know better than just like buying cash setups. Like that is shit that is so easy to get out and destroy you. Like Penske and Hendrick do like technical cheating. Like they bend the rules. And they find the loopholes. They don't just go and spend the money. So, okay, those two are done.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone affiliated with them, so, okay, so like 2311 wouldn't be it. Okay, that's no fun. Trackhouse, I think that they're trying to be too good to do that. They're like, no, we're better. Like, they would high road you, I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know why I want to say like front row could be.
Now they're working together on the lawsuit. They wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
Like, another lawsuit against each other. But you see how quickly it whittles down to it's like, maybe it is.
Like just logically breaking down like teams and who's who. I'm just like, you know what?
It makes sense. It does make sense actually though. It could be. It's all gonna come out in like 2 weeks.
I'm just gonna. Did Legacy start doing well?
Don't think so.
I don't think so either.
At
At least not noticeably, or is that? I don't know if that's a team issue or something. Because like that's a Toyota onto a Toyota would kind of make sense, but
I think I still think RCR makes the most sense.
Anyways, that's all we know at this point, and that's just where it sort of allegedly has ended up. Because some people have too much time in their days and need to investigate that. But again, you see how quickly it whittles down to maybe.
What if it's the opposite? What if we're not looking this the right way?
Oh my god.
What if it's not a team? What if it's not a team that started doing good, but a team that started doing bad because they started using sebs that weren't for their car?
Maybe. Who are you thinking?
Why? Who are you thinking?
I'm thinking RFK.
Oh boy.
Keselowski had a run there where he was like consistently top 5. And then middle of the year, he just hit a cliff and got one more top 5.
Well,
so what if it's a situation like that?
Case, then that guy did not get a job at RFK.
It's like, here, try these setups. This is working for us. Yeah, it's working for you because that's what works on that car.
Yeah, it works with Toyota, not with the Chevy or the Ford.
Yeah. So maybe it's that, and maybe there won't be any penalty because it's like, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll just have to see how it all shakes out. I'm sure the details will start getting released.
Ethics in NASCAR? Never.
Who gets sued in NASCAR?
Let's just check like all the shit in NASCAR, like unethically stuff going on that's not on track stuff. Okay, you got suing people, you got monopolies, you have IP knowledge for cash, trades, fights in the parking lot. I'm half expecting someone to fuck someone's wife at this point.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly. You get that okay, we don't get that, but you kind of get that in F1 with the whole like Max Kelly thing.
Oh. I mean,
when Kvyat was in F1, it was a weird thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, like we need like some Real Housewife shit or like Sopranos shit now for NASCAR, I guess.
I feel like NASCAR is like the Real Housewives of motorsports. Really.
I think there needs to be a reality TV show for just like wives and girlfriends of every sporting event and team.
That's what they're doing for the Kansas City Chiefs. Did you not see that? They're doing like a WAGs show for Bravo.
Well, let's be honest.
Amazing.
We know it's just going to be like a Taylor Swift, Brittany Mahomes.
They're not in it.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, because it's everyone else's reaction to being surrounded by stars, I guess.
They did not want to take part, which like I get.
That makes total sense.
Makes total sense, but it would be funny. I feel like though in NASCAR it would be so funny to have like a Vanderpump Rules type show and it's just chaos all the time and everybody hates each other, but also spends too much time together.
Does anyone have a favorite NASCAR power couple?
No, I don't think so.
No?
Why? Who do you have?
Reddick and was it Alexa DeLion? Honestly, mostly for Reddick being my short king. That is entirely why.
Short king.
Hell yeah.
Fair enough.
He gives all us fellow short guys out there hope, you know?
You're married.
Not that I need it. Yeah, exactly. I'm married, but for other short guys. Like, he helps the short guys community. It's good. Do you know who short Reddick is?
No. Like 5'9"?
No, shorter.
5'6"?
Shorter.
What?
5'4"?
5'5"?
His listed Wikipedia is 5'2".
Jesus Christ.
He's shorter than me?
Yeah, he's shorter than you.
Short king.
Exactly. Ginger short king. Fucking love Reddick.
Wow.
Okay. What else we got?
For NASCAR, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay.
That's it for NASCAR.
What else do we have for news? Did you guys watch any of the stuff that happened this weekend? There was Petit Le Mans that happened. There was Bathurst.
Oh, yes. I definitely watched Petit Le Mans. I watched all 10 hours of Petit Le Mans.
Oh, I watched like an hour and a half of lawnmower racing.
God damn it, Steve.
Went real grassroots with it.
Oh,
It's a terrible pun.
terrible.
Oh my god. Petit Le Mans was actually really good, though.
Did you see
Yeah.
the end, though?
Which part
The
of the
end
end?
was really funny. That the leader, the person who won the race, his headlights were going in and out for like the last 15 minutes of the race.
Yep.
So like one of the requirements, right, is you have to have at least one headlight working. So if he, like at one point, if his headlights had to have been like turned off for a number of times, he would have been called into the pits, and that would have like ruined his race. But he was trying to like, he had some sort of electrical problem, and he like
Was fiddling with it?
like cycling, yeah, and he kept like cycling the electrical or something in the car. Eventually he got it to work, but it kept like flickering on and off, and so like that was like the highlight of the end, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I loved that the 01 won because, one, it was in pink for this race. They finally ditched out all the yellow or whatever and just threw some pink on there, and for some reason that gave the car a win. It's Ganassi's last IMSA race with Cadillac because Ganassi's gone.
Right.
And they were down like I think a lap or two because they had electrical issues the entire day.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like it was actually like a decent race. It was a good finish.
It was. They made a really great move for the lead. And I'm happy they won and they didn't get in trouble for the lights issue because then the win would have gone to Penske.
Yeah.
And, you know, if we're going to bend the rules a little bit to help one team, for once, can we help... No, can we help Chip beat Penske for once, even though, like, championship-wise, that's not really an issue?
Mm-hmm.
This is quickly become an anti-Penske podcast.
Well, you know what? After the charter system in IndyCar, I think we just have a lot of, like, negative feelings towards Penske right now.
Yeah, I'm not too cheery with Roger. I think he's... At one point, I used to love him, and now I'm like, I think you're an idiot. So...
Mm-hmm. Anyway, that was kind of like it for my Petit Le Mans
No, that's fair.
commentary.
Yeah. Very, very valid. Other things that came out of there. Fun news, actually. That was, what was it? David Landon interview with Robert Wickens. Did you see that?
Yes.
Robert Wickens, I love him. He is so good.
Mm-hmm.
For someone who's been through so much to still just be so cheery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly. I'm sure he's been through so much therapy.
Yep.
Probably.
Anyway, but he says he wants to do the 500, and I would absolutely love if he could get a chance to do the 500 with hand controls.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's kind of what came out of that interview that I found fascinating, and I think that's what most people found interesting. But yeah.
Yeah.
He had a good season. I think they got a podium again, but yeah.
I mean, you could probably say that about a majority of their weekends. I feel like every week I go on Instagram or something, I always see that car up there.
That is fair. I'm just trying to think how many wins they get this year, and I'm like, did they only get the one win this year? And was that win at Mosport? Like, did we see their only win?
Possibly.
That's what I'm trying to check.
Filibuster.
Basically. But yeah, I mean, when you watch the TCR cars, Steven, because you didn't come to Mosport to watch them, they really are like 6 cars that have a chance to win, it seems. Like there's not a whole lot of competition, it seems. Like, because there is the what's it called? Was it the Alfa Romeo that Peter hates? That it's in the TCR. Apparently, it just always breaks.
Yeah, yeah.
It was once 2 cars. They had to amalgamate all the parts into the one car because everything kept getting wrecked or breaking. And I'm pretty sure that car broke down like twice and had to pit during the race at Mosport. Anyway, TCR is fun.
Yep. Yeah. Good times.
Definitely. In other racing news, did you see Hailie Deegan going to Indy NXT?
Yes. And we love women in motorsports.
Yes. Do we like Hailie Deegan?
I don't know.
I don't know either. She's kind of had a really interesting career, and I feel maybe in NASCAR has not been the most receptive of women in that series. Or there's sometimes, I don't know, maybe they race women a little harder. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how she does.
Yeah. Well, it is NASCAR is a more physical series, and I think if you, depending on what your background is to begin with, and well, in terms of like the cars, there's naturally more contact, right? Like you're not bump drafting in the open wheels.
True, but you're not. Yeah, contact between cars. I guess that's fair. You're more likely to use.
That's what I mean.
But like physical, I'm like they have power steering in NASCAR. I'm pretty sure. So
no. Yeah, no. That's not what I'm. No, what I'm talking about is like physical contact between the cars.
That's valid.
There is intentional physical contact, and you can play rougher with certain people. Right? Like if you do that, if you try and do that in IndyCar or F1, you're getting pulled off the track. You're probably getting a suspension. Whereas the other one, where it's just like, I tried to bump draft him, and I just hit him wrong. Sorry. You can play That's it fair. Off a little more. I did a bad.
I wonder if this move though is less about competition and everything like that, and more about funding. And what I mean by that is because Deegan's never really had a great team. Like, she's never been on top teams, I think, in any of either NASCAR, like, Xfinity or Truck. Like, she's raced for Thor Sport Racing and, what's this? AM Racing, which are not necessarily the top teams in these series. So she's moving over to HMD in Indy NXT. HMD, I'm pretty sure, didn't they win the championship last year?
Yes. I'm trying to remember the exact...
Oh, I know. Andretti was Louis Foster with Andretti. But HMD still had a few wins. Like that, because who's with HMD? Checking it now because I'm just spitballing as I go.
They do also have the biggest stable of drivers, so.
Oh wow, they really do.
But they had Nolan Siegel for 6 races, Reese Gold, Nolan App.
Okay.
So, like, and they were also with Force Indy, who had Miles Rowe. So
yeah, you know what? Like, yeah, it's a pretty decently funded team, I would say. Gets a lot of people in there. But if she can be one of the guys, like looking at the roster of HMD, they seem to have a revolving door. Mm-hmm. But if you are a full-time driver, you seem to do pretty well. So this could be a thing where instead of taking the money and being in a half-assed Xfinity team, why don't I take the money and actually be in a better Indy NXT team, get some wins, or even get some podiums, you know, make a name for myself. I may maybe move up in IndyCar versus moving up in NASCAR. Like, Deacon's only like 23.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
For, I guess, comparison, I think that's the same age Chadwick moved. Or was she 24 when she went to Indy NXT?
I think she was 24. Either way, it's still like really young to be doing that.
Yeah, like it could actually be a smart career move because let's be honest, if you're looking at the NASCAR situation, if you're a young driver coming up, where are you going?
If you're not getting out of trucks into Xfinity.
My point being is look at the NASCAR lineup. Like, let's look at the standings. In the next 3 years, where's a top seat opening up?
Tough to say.
It looks like there isn't a whole lot.
Yeah.
Well, and then you're gonna have to hop over any of the guys in Xfinity already that are already trying to get a full-time seat, like your John Hunter Nemecheks.
Precisely.
Mm-hmm.
That's that ilk of driver that is good but isn't there yet.
Which is honestly why I do not want a guy like Connor Zilic to go into the NASCAR pipeline, because you're just gonna get stuck there.
Yeah.
And he is such a fucking talent. But anyway,
I feel like that's one though where the talent would maybe help him hop over a couple
I hope.
people. If he keeps performing like he has so far, that would be one where some team is taking a chance on him at some point.
That's fair.
At like 20 at the latest, like
But-
next 2 years.
On that same vein, if you look at the IndyCar standings, how many guys do you expect not to be in the series in, say, 3 years? You could make the argument for 10.
Yeah.
There is a whole lot of changeover happening every year in IndyCar. And to excel in that series, sometimes all you need is an opportunity. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I think I see Will Power being out of the series. I can see Dixon being out of the series.
Yeah.
Graham Rahal, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rahal could be out.
Rosenquist.
Grosjean could finally just say,
Yeah.
I'm done. Like, how old's Grosjean? Anyone?
Is he like 37?
It's pretty close.
36?
38.
Okay.
He's 38.
So like, as these
Yeah.
guys are pushing into their 40s, like if you're looking at the NASCAR, these guys are all in their primes, late 20s, early 30s.
I mean, it's weird you mentioned Grosjean because he might even be out this year. So
that is true.
Yeah.
I don't think he has a seat yet.
But you look at someone like Chadwick at 26, who's did her time in NXT, didn't rush it, did 2 years, eventually developed, got a win, was a consistent driver all year this year, had some bad luck and got wrecked a couple times. Like, I'm pretty sure she had a good shot of winning a Gateway, which would have been an oval win for her, but got wrecked there. So she's doing it right, taking her time, moving into IndyCar next year, probably on a part-time basis. If you do well, you get more funding, you bring in sponsors.
I was going to say it's interesting that you bring up Chadwick because they released, one, we don't have to wait long to see what Deegan can do in an NXT car because we have a test on Friday at IMS.
Right.
So that's coming up. One of the names that was, so this is for all NXT drivers. We have 21 in total. One of the names that was not on the list was Jamie Chadwick. And this is not like a rookie test thing. This is for all, like, I think, pretty sure it's open to all the drivers. So is that a sign that she's moving up somewhere and getting a seat with either A, another team, or B, some team that's now going to be affiliated with Andretti somehow through like a technical partnership, something like that? There are still seats open.
We know she did a test.
Mm-hmm. We know she did a test.
And we know...
And her not being at this lower level test, I think, sheds some light on where she will be, because there's still nothing official.
No, that's true. I think she will get a few races in Indy. Like maybe 6 over the year.
Be like the road course specialist for one team, where the other half is Connor Daly driving your ovals,
Maybe.
sort of thing.
But I can see her definitely being in the series, getting a few races, but not having the funding to go full time. You're seeing a lot of younger drivers starting to kind of make those jumps up and do that, where they were like, look at Nolan Siegel, who was like, I'll do a couple races. You perform really well. All of a sudden, Zach Brown's knocking on your door and being like, hey, kid, what you doing? No, you don't want to drive for them. Come over here. Who does Andretti have a technical partnership with next year?
I don't think they have one yet, but there was rumors that we were talking about it, I think in September, where it was either Juncos could maybe get one of their charters over to Andretti and be like, yeah, it's a Juncos car that's run by Andretti, sort of thing.
Okay.
So, and Juncos at this point has both their seats open. Some other places, Dale Coyne has both seats open. Prima still has their other seat. So I think if you were Jamie Chadwick trying to get into the series full time, you'd go with Juncos or Dale Coyne. And if you're Andretti trying to help her, you say you're doing Juncos or Dale Coyne, because then we can at least get money out of it if you do well.
Here's the issue, though. It can't be Juncos because they're Chevy.
That's true.
You're going to take her and put her in a Honda with everyone else, which really gives you two options. It's either Dale Coyne or Ray Hall.
Yeah.
I could actually see her at Ray Hall splitting the seat with Louis Foster.
Maybe, but I think hasn't he been signed on full time?
Is he full time or is he part time?
I'm pretty sure he's full time.
Ah, okay.
So that
I thought he was part time.
Yeah, so he's got. I'm just looking. So he's on a multi-year deal. Doesn't say full time, but I assume if you're signing a guy to a multi-year deal, it's probably to be a full-time driver.
That's fair. Or another one could be you go with Juncos and, somehow have a deal with them where they kind of maybe split with Grosjean, and Grosjean can kind of teach her, be like, oh, this is what happened to me coming over from Europe, and this is things you got to learn and stuff like that. Maybe. But actually, yeah, because it wouldn't be Juncos. I could see. What about Dale Coyne? Dale Coyne gets both Grosjean and Chadwick. That could be a fun one.
Yeah.
Could be fun. That could be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Have them split a car with then someone else who's bringing some money, and then you can have a 3-person split the car. Though,
no more than 3.
Well, I don't think anyone will. I can see 2 people splitting cars. I cannot see 3. Because say you're splitting your 2 with 2 drivers, which I think makes a lot of sense for the season if you can't get full funding. Bring 2 part-time drivers in. Which is really weird to say that when it comes to IndyCar, because it's the only series that will have part-time drivers, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like NASCAR used to do that. It used to be a thing with NASCAR when you could have guys that run partial schedules, but now it's just charter or bust, basically. But for Indy, I would like to say probably 2 people at Dale Coyne, bring some money, but you don't want to have that 3rd spot filled in case there's an injury. Yeah. You don't have someone break their finger, can't run, and then you're stuck because, we're out of our 3rd drivers.
Yeah.
So, just a thought. Anyway, back to the whole Haley Deacon thing. I'm interested to see how that'll play out.
Yeah, again, we don't have to wait long to see how she will compare to 20 of the other drivers that she will be in direct competition with. So,
Yeah.
if she knocks it out of the park right away, could be a fun season for her.
Mm-hmm. And Indy NXT is a pretty healthy series right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how many seats do they have open?
So, again, they have 21 drivers going to this test.
Wow.
But right now, so they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 seats.
Damn.
Wow.
4 are still to be filled. The rest are filled by mostly people that are, again, at this test.
Does it say who's at the test?
Yep, let me bring it back up. So you've got...
Who's testing for Ganassi is my question.
No one is testing for Ganassi,
Really?
I believe. Abel Juncos, Cape Andretti. Yeah, there's no one there for Ganassi.
I find that interesting because they said they're making a 2-team effort for Indy NXT this year.
Yep. And they don't have anyone. So HMD has Collette, Pearson, Smith, Aaron, Deegan, Allaire, Brooks, Skeets, and Mason. Andretti has Hughes, D'Alba, Hauger, and Rowe. Abel has the other row, Sundara Murthy, Hedge, and Missig. Juncos has Mossman and Correba. Cape Andretti has Escato, and MVM has Miller.
Interesting.
That's your testing lineup. So no Ganassi. Abel is basically taking 4 drivers and saying, 2, you need to fight for a seat. And then,
if you're bringing the same money, who's faster? If you're not faster, bring more money.
yep.
Mhm.
And then maybe Ganassi's just picking up whoever falls through the cracks, or maybe they've got 2 other drivers that they got an eye on. So,
That's fair.
regardless, those seats remain unfilled at this point.
Huh. Anyway, it's always fun to see. We don't really get a whole lot of, I guess, prospect driver talk and stuff.
No, but who knows? Maybe we'll have some more time this winter.
Would
Yeah.
We always say we should do it, but hey, you know, it is what it is. Anything else?
Oh, we finally have F1 back,
Oh yeah, we do. Right,
Yeah,
that's a
one
thing.
is finally back.
and with that, 2 one-off liveries, cause America.
Yeah, because you know,
America.
Alpine thought the way to be fast is it's actually not the car, it's the color. You make the car orange, and then you know you'll be fast.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't
Also
anyone else think of that?
Their release for that was a little rough. Was I the only one who couldn't really make out what was going on at first?
I can't even
Is this
make
the
out what's
Indiana
on the
Jones
car.
car?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's Indiana
No idea.
Jones themed.
Is it?
D-
It is
yeah.
not clear. It's very much not clear.
Yeah, and so I'm actually gonna pull it up now because I did not. I was trying to look at it at work off my phone, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" It looks like they just put like smoke and an orange spotlight on the car. Doesn't look like they did a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I actually can't tell if it's actually orange or if the lighting makes it orange.
Yeah, and also, what is? I'm not 100% sure what is making this like Indiana Jones. The numbers are
The numbers are
a
fine.
good touch. Yep,
It
that's
has
a good touch.
It has Indiana Jones in the rear wing.
Yep.
But here's the most funny thing. It's not even Indiana Jones like a movie.
No,
It's a
that was the
video
other thing
game.
too. I was like, is there a new movie? What the fuck's going on here?
Yeah. Did they get
Like the
Harrison
movie
Ford?
came out last
Yeah.
year? Last year?
Yeah, it's a video
Yeah,
game.
I mean, I don't know. Not executed well.
No, terribly. And McLaren decided they're gonna, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it, and they're gonna bring the chrome back, which is,
Bring back the chrome.
I think, everyone's favorite, to be honest.
Yep. See that one? Sweet, short, simple. You had a little teaser with Norris dropping like chrome flakes over a camera.
That is funny.
Like super simple. And then the car in a well-lit environment showing off, hey, a good like third of this car is chrome now.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Thank you for making it obvious, McLaren.
Yeah, that's fair. Their reveal lot better than the Alpine reveal. I don't know. I have so many mixed feelings about Coda this year because Danny isn't gonna be there, and I know it's his favorite race. And I've
Solution,
seen so many
don't
things
suck.
on the internet. Well, I've seen a lot of things on the internet that like makes it kind of like just such a hairy situation. Apparently, he was gonna like receive the keys to the city or whatever from the mayor.
Cool, still can.
Yeah, you still can. Just don't get in the car.
Yeah, it's gonna be at a later date. I've just heard wild things. I don't know, guys. Like the whole situation is apparently very, very weird. Like AlphaTauri or whatever they're now. What are they now? The racing bulls, right?
RB,
Sure.
Visa
Apparently
Cash
they-
App, some insert
That's right,
sponsor here.
V-carb. Apparently they didn't even know that he was going to be dropped. Like that was a surprise to them, and like Helmut Marko's just stirring the pot as per usual.
Did you see his comments? Helmut Marko's comments today about Lando Norris?
Oh no, what'd
No.
he do?
What did he say?
Basically said, yeah, you can knock him off his game. I've seen some of his pre-race routines, and they're weird.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm gonna find. Yeah,
All right.
Let me find it.
He's just like such a, but I don't know. And apparently Red Bull wanted to put Ricardo in the car, but Liberty Media said, no, you can't drop Perez because we need him for the Mexican GP.
I mean, that one makes sense. Like, money-wise,
which is believable.
Sense.
Yeah.
Which is believable. I could totally see Liberty Media stepping in and saying, no, like, we want the ratings and the fans and everything to be there. So I get that. But it's just like, I don't know. I'm still sad for him.
Speaking of spicy quotes, has anyone... Sorry, before you get to that, Steven. Has anyone gotten to Gunter's book yet?
No.
No, not yet.
Okay, I think we should do a group reading session of that and, like... Because apparently he has some spicy quotes in there I've seen.
Oh, yeah, that's not surprising.
I bet.
But yeah, Helmut Marko's comments. We know that Norris has some mental weaknesses. I've read about some of the rituals he needs to do to perform well on race day.
What the fuck is a ritual?
I don't know.
What is he to? Like, what rituals is he doing?
Some athletes have their pre-game routines. Like, Sean, do you remember one of the hockey podcasts we listened to breaking down Jack Eichel's routine?
Yes, they are. Like, hockey players are insane. I get that, but that's a different thing versus the race guys. I can't imagine the routine because I think it's way less, really. Because, like, hockey guys will do, like, morning skate, do stuff, do this. They'll be there however early. Race guys, I feel like, what are you going to do, a track walk? You're going to do, like, a bike?
Maybe. Might have...
Those are not things I think break up a routine. You can still do those.
Yeah. I get it. It would be a little more difficult considering you're traveling around the world and not everything you would usually do is accessible to you.
Yeah. Now I just picture Helmut Marko in the paddock, but hiding in a bush, watching Norris, and just like writing down his exact routines he does every Sunday. And he's like, okay,
why could I totally see that?
11:36, he goes for a jog, and then it's like cuts to like the next day. He's just there with a golf club, swinging it at his ankles as he runs by.
Nice.
He is. I don't know, Marko. Like, I wouldn't put it past him to be like that. He's a weird guy.
Yes, he is very weird. So yeah, Coda. I don't know where to go from that, really.
Okay, here. If you don't want to end on Helmut Marko's just a straight up weird guy, how would you Americanify an F1 race, or more specifically, any one of the 3 F1 races?
What do you mean by
Americanify?
I don't know. Do something like, I don't know, something to Americanify it in Texas.
Like, can I make this just death race? Just throw guns to everyone?
Well, I was gonna somewhat go down that path. Speaking of pre-race ritual, you go to Walmart, you buy a gun because there's no waiting period, and you don't need to have an ID, and all these guys are old enough to buy a gun, and then you can like just shoot out someone's tires. I don't know. You can go in as extreme as that, or just super simple. Every American, or for the COTA race, they got to throw on a special race suit that has a giant ass belt buckle because that'd be hilarious.
Realistically,
James Coker for that one.
Okay, if you win at Texas Motor Speedway in IndyCar or NASCAR, what do?
Fire off the guns.
Why is that not a thing in Texas for F1?
Because F1's not fun like that.
Honestly, they should be. You should fire off guns on the podium.
Yeah, I did see some fun ones like the pre-race parade should be done on horseback.
Ooh.
Okay.
Daniel Ricciardo did that as an entrance. I don't want to know what idea you just had, Sean.
Oh gosh, what, Sean? What?
Oh, Lewis Hamilton gets pulled over.
Oh no.
Sean!
Oh, come on. How else would you Americanify it? I don't know.
I mean, that's fair.
Some police brutality or something?
Jeez. I thought this was going to be a happier way to end it. Clearly not.
No, Sean's in his dark mood
Okay,
today.
if you want,
already
fine.
Theorized about it being a simulation.
It's okay. You know, life is a lie. But if you want to get really weird and you want to end the weird note and Americanize race, how about we get trophies and just put Dead Mouse's head on the trophy for the U.S. Grand Prix? That's what they did. Look at the U.S. Grand Prix trophy right now.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a dead mouse trophy.
What?
Yes.
Hold on one
It
second.
is one of the
In a
weirdest.
momento.
It's one of the
Please
weirdest
hold.
trophies I have seen in a long time.
Yeah, that's weird. Like, I kind of get, like, see, if they were racing around Disney World, it kind of looks like it could be like a Lego character or something.
Yeah.
That I could get. This is Coda. What the fuck are we doing here?
And like
What
it
is
looks
this?
it looks like a dead mouse helmet.
Yeah.
Why did they put like Mickey Mouse ears on it? This is so weird.
It is. It is such an ugly trophy. And I
Yeah.
really hope Lando drops it when he wins it.
And breaks it. And
Like,
then
okay,
throws it
so
off the balcony.
The base is a tire.
Okay, makes sense so far.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
It has like a
Okay.
I'm not gonna
The
lie.
base is a tire.
A Playmobil-esque man standing on the tire. Like, it's not really anatomically correct. It kind of looks like it should be a toy. And then the head looks like it's like a race helmet with dead mouse ears on it. And the head is gold.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What? In
Again,
the
if you're going
fuck?
around
Ugliest trophy.
Yeah. If you're going around Disney World, I could try and justify it, but this don't make no sense.
Why can't they do that? Why can't they do a racing event around Disney World?
Because that gives America a fourth race, and we don't need that.
Let's
I
replace
mean,
it.
Disney used to
Replace
have a
Miami
track.
with Disney.
Disney World Speedway used to be a thing. Used to be like a mini Poconos, like a little tri-oval.
Well, it's an oval,
Aw.
so and the Europeans don't consider that racing, so it's definitely a no.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Alright.
Yeah. Okay. So what would you do instead of this trophy? Would you just put the guns?
Ooh. Ooh.
No, a bald eagle.
Could do a bald eagle.
And then there's a little button that when you press it, it screams freedom.
A Texas Rangers like giant star badge would be awesome.
Mm.
I was gonna say not for this one, but for Vegas, you could do a pair of dice, and then the pair of dice, whatever position you finish, is the die face that's facing you. So say you finish first, you get snake eyes.
Oh, okay, that could be fun. Yeah. I see.
Second gets
Actually,
the
that's
gets the
actually
twos.
cool. That's a really good idea.
Once
That's-
again, F1, I am saying, just fucking pay me. I will give you ideas.
What else? For I don't know. For Miami,
A dolphin.
pink flamingo. That's so good, eh? Just a flamingo as a trophy.
Yeah.
Loofahs.
What'd you say, Taylor? Did you say the loofahs?
Loofahs.
No, we're not going to do loofahs. No. Do not. No one look up loofah communities in Florida. It's a trap.
Search
No.
pineapples instead.
Jesus Christ. No, get off this. If
Um,
I had a nickel.
okay. What about for what would you do for like Chicago if that was to become a race?
Oh. Ooh, a
Would you
deep
do it-
dish pizza.
I
was gonna say-
that's a good answer.
I was gonna say a Glock, but yeah, that works too.
Jesus Christ. How about...
Oh.
Nope, never mind.
Uh,
Okay, how about any other
Uh.
nationality ones? What should Mexico have?
A taco.
I was gonna say sombrero.
Yeah, sombrero would work.
I'm not gonna say what I thought of. It was terrible.
Coward. That's how we get canceled. Okay. I think. Okay. Last one. British Grand Prix gets away with a nice trophy. Nice. Everything's gone. Reset. What do you put on?
A teapot.
Fuck you. That's what I was thinking.
A teapot.
Bangers and mash.
Ooh.
Big Ben.
Oh, that's a good one too. A crown
Oh, good. That's good.
or like a
That's good.
scepter,
Would be
maybe.
good.
I don't know.
Well, because didn't so
No.
like
Oh no.
I mean-
a sword.
no,
Why not?
I don't trust Lando if he was ever to get on a podium.
That's true.
Just like get a gold sword. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I mean, I like the crown idea. I feel like a lot of races would do that, but like we've seen the Miami one do the football helmets. Haven't they done cowboy hats for Texas? The crown would be a good idea, but again, I feel like that would
Yeah.
That's fair.
each respective monarchy would hate that idea, so therefore it would never happen.
That's true.
2, there's too many places that have a monarchy that they race at that would use it.
True. Also true.
So, slight issues there.
Oh, I just have a terrible one
What?
for
What?
Saudi Arabia.
Oh.
A saw?
Oh, my. I was gonna say a harem, but like, okay. You come in third, you get 2 women. Coming fourth, you get 3. Coming first.
Should it be the other way
No.
around? If you come in third,
No,
you get 1.
Oh,
Let's be honest. We all know the Saudi Arabian one would just be like a stack of cash.
barrel of oil.
Yeah.
Barrel of oil, yeah.
You get 1 barrel of oil, a stack of cash, and you must now race in the Saudi League.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, before we actually go down this path and get really, really wild with these,
There's our off-season content.
oh god, this is how we get canceled. Yeah, I think that wraps up for tonight. So thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, do all things, leave a rating. Helps us grow. And we'll be back next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Spare Parts Racing podcast. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and follow the show on Twitter at Spare Parts Racing. That's Spare Parts RACIN, and on TikTok at Spare Parts Pod. Follow the hosts at Sean Chavarella, at Stephen Clary, and at Tay Moore.